Hello, and welcome to today's video. The first of probably many. We will see. Today we're going to be talking about that new iMac that Apple revealed just recently, actually. So buckle up, prepare for a little rant. I'm making this video because I have some thoughts that I want to get off my chest with this thing, and my girlfriend is tired of hearing me rant about it.
Hey Heather, so I just saw the new iMac, and I have a lot of thoughts. Okay then.
So, for the sake of my relationship, I'm going to be ranting at you for a little bit. Thank you for your service. So anyway, let's start. Here is the new iMac. Clap for it. It's really something, isn't it? It's one of those redesigns where you either love it or you hate it. I know a lot of people were disappointed with the fact that the redesign did not turn the iMac into a cool, bezel-less, minimalist, kinda fancy little screen. People mentioned the chin a lot in criticism.
This chin, I don't like it.
This chin. I just think it would have looked so much better without the chin.
Countless comments with people disappointed in the new design, calling it ugly. David from CNN says that it's, quote, ugly as sin.
They have a point. Just look at it. It's got these thin bezels on the side, and then by the time you work your eyes down to the very bottom of the machine, you got this absolute dump truck of a chin waiting for you. Like, why you do this, Apple? Please. Now, I'm speaking with the advantage of that young 2020 hindsight, but let's be real for a minute here. The fundamental design language that Apple had already established with the iMac was never really gonna change. The iMac is one of the most recognizable computers that exists today. People know an iMac when they see it, and if Apple were to do what some of these YouTubers wanted them to do and make a completely bezel-less, modern-looking display that honestly would have probably looked really cool, the new iMac would look more like any other thin bezel PC monitor, and Apple don't want that. Although personally, I probably would have liked that more. It's more minimal and would have looked a lot better, and I actually have a monitor like that too, so would have fit right in. The only problem is that Apple probably saw that they would lose all the brand recognition that had made the iMac stand out for all these years. Think about it, anytime you enter a room that has an iMac, you automatically know what that is by the shape of the stupid computer and its stupid crimson chin. That would be a lot of brand recognition to just simply throw away after all these years. Does that chin inherently do anything? No. Hell no. But this is Apple we're talking about. Functionality always comes second to design for them. The chin's existence is justified by the fact that the internals of the entire computer are housed within it. Some people believe that the Mac would have just been better if they made it a little thicker and placed the internals behind the display and cut off the chin completely. And I think that probably would have worked. But again, this is Apple we're talking about here, and they weren't gonna do that. Funnily enough though, Apple's strive to make everything they make extremely thin has actually forced them to place the headphone jack in a more functional position. As others have discovered, the iMac is actually too thin to have a headphone jack directly in the back of the computer. It's for the best that it's in the side anyway though. I mean, having it on the back was always really stupid. I mean, you had to reach behind with your whole hand and figure out where the hole was. It was dumb. At the end of the day, this decision was made to retain the recognizability of the iMac in the computer market. There was no way in hell Apple was going to throw away years of brand recognition just to put a bezel-less iMac out on the market. This was a product designed to retain its brand recognition and to appeal to a much broader audience anyway. Now, speaking of audience, this is a product that is meant for the average consumer, not a demanding professional. Sure, the M1 chip is really capable and a lot of professionals would probably get away with doing a lot of their work on it, but look at how they market this computer. There's a couple of kids watching a movie on it, some girl is sending an email from her desk in her living space, and I mean there's even a guy in his kitchen FaceTiming someone with it. So come on, this is a computer meant for family and for students, primarily. Now, that white border around the screen is definitely a choice. And it's not one that I personally like. I've seen some videos about this computer, and almost everyone complained about this white border. Although they were saying something about it being bad for color correction, But, I mean, I'm colorblind, so I guess it doesn't really matter to me. Although assuming that's true, that just further reinforces the point that this computer was not made with professionals in mind. Your average computer customer is not gonna really care about the white bezel. Some iPhones have had white bezels before anyway, and no one really cared about that. The white bezel is really not gonna be a problem for the average consumer. At the end of the day, it's an iMac. The thing is going to be really popular regardless of what anyone thinks of it, and it's probably gonna sell really well. It looks nice, and it has that new Apple Silicon. The downside I can see without having used this machine myself is the limitation of only 2 Thunderbolt ports that come on the machine. For most people, this probably won't be an issue, but for creatives or anyone that's looking to use this computer to the max, who have a lot of external drives, peripherals, and stuff like that, might be a deal breaker. This is a limitation of the M1 chip, which they might fix with whatever chip comes next. I mean, I'm pretty sure they'll fix that, because that would be a problem, wouldn't it? Oh, and forget about being able to replace anything in this computer. Remember, this computer is built as an SoC, so RAM, GPU, CPU, it's all on one little chip. And you ain't fixing any of it, and you ain't changing any of it. Which means whatever you get when you buy it is what you get, and that's it. No more. You can't put no more RAM, no more going to MacSales.com, okay? You can't do that anymore. That's illegal now. You can't do that. So yeah, good luck with repairing it if it ever breaks. Probably just gonna have to buy a whole ass new computer. But yeah, chin and all, I mean, it looks alright. It's fine. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the whole thing. Thanks for listening to me rant for about the duration of this video. If you've made it this far, I'm truly sorry. See you next time.